it's me, Dr. John Dewey, and I'm here to talk to you today about a little book I wrote, Experience and Education. Let me ask you something. Teachers, has this ever happened to you? You're just a traditional educator trying to maintain order in your classroom using traditional educational methods, and yet your students seem bored, disengaged, and like they're not really learning a whole lot? Here, maybe your classroom looks a little something like this.
So here, let's apply it to the keyboard. We have C, D, E, F, and G. That's a perfect fifth, right? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do, sol. Let's do another one. C, do, sol. Do, sol. Do, sol. Do, sol. Don't worry about the key, just count the interval. Do, sol. Do, sol. When you're writing them, make sure you remember to put in your accidentals. Do, sol. Do, sol.
Wow, what a classroom, right? But you know, it's not just traditional educators that have these issues. These problems can also crop up for progressive teachers. Isn't that right, Miss Kelsey?
That's right, progressive teachers can have this problem too. So, as a forward thinker for a progressive teacher, they throw out the old rules in favor of new styles of teaching and new ways of education. But, here's the problem. There's disorganization, there's no actual direction to your exploration. What are you going to learn if there's no direction, no set guidelines? It's too free, right? Am I right? A little too free. So, that leaves the students not challenged enough. So, let's take a look at how this actually works.
Alright class, what's up dudes and dudettes? My name is Mr. Jackson. You all know that by now, I hope. Today we're going to be talking about how music makes us feel. Alright? So, I want you to just pick an emotion and play that emotion. Just like, get all that emotion out in there. Alright? And don't use traditional notation or anything to show me. Just do your thing, man.
Thanks, Miss Kelsey, for a great example of how progressive education can also have its downfalls. You know, these problems occur when teachers use an either-or approach to their craft, meaning that they're either traditional or progressive. It really limits the teacher's options that they have when they're teaching their students and has a negative impact on their education overall. It's easy to forget that life is not black and white. In fact, everything in life happens on a spectrum, just like in education. Now, America, let me ask you another question. Are you ready for an educational philosophy that's experience-based, creates an inclusive classroom community, and engages our students in a manner that will cause them to go on to be productive members of a democratic society? Well, if you answered yes to any of those questions, then boy howdy do I have a book for you. It's called Experience in Education. It's written by me, Dr. John Dewey, and it can be all yours for the low, low price of $25,000 or tuition and fees at another competing state university. But don't just take my word for it. Why don't we turn to some teachers who have read my book, followed my philosophy, and are now doing it like Dewey.
Hi, I'm Miss Raposa. I'm a recovering traditional teacher. I never really questioned my teaching practices. I always just did what I do because it's always been done. I stand at the front of the room and my students sit in rows. I never really thought about it before, but I realized my actions may have destroyed any and all hope of my students having a meaningful education. I wasn't teaching them, I was teaching only the subject.
Hey, so I'm Jimmy. I'm the average 6th grader. I wear this crown because I went to Burger King the other day and they gave it to me because I'm the king of the back row. I usually just sit in the back row of Mr. Resposa's class. I don't really learn much in our class though. I did learn how to pass notes without getting caught. I got really good at that because I learned how to do it when her back was turned. I don't think Miss Resposa really knows who I am. She never really asks about any of us. We're just kind of there, and I think she thinks we're learning, but I know I'm not. Honestly, if you ask me what I learned in this class, I would have no idea what to tell you. You would have to ask Miss Resposa.
So, Jimmy, can you play C for me? Okay, what's a perfect fifth above C?
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, G.
G, can you play just G for me? Thank you. Can you play them both together? Fabulous. Let's try it in a different key now.
All right, we'll keep.
Pick one. Explore.
All right. How about A flat?
Wonderful, Jimmy.
Nice. I like F too.
Nice. Very good.
Yo, that kind of sounds like rock and roll, Mr. Posa.
I like your analogy. Very good. After reading Dr. Dewey's book, I really understand the importance of getting to know my students as people rather than subjects in my classroom. I realized I have to look at how they learn instead of trying to just solely teach the subject. I also saw that they learn best as a community and as a whole. And especially through exploration, they get a lot out of that. Thanks to experience and education, I'm now doing it like Dewey.
Hey, so after she read your book, Miss Posa actually got a lot better. She actually I don't know, class didn't feel like class anymore. It felt like a community, you know? It was kind of nice. I mean, I was a little bummed out that I couldn't be the king of the back row anymore. I actually became just me. It was just Jimmy. I didn't feel like I had to be a smart aleck in the back and pass notes anymore. I was actually interested in what we were learning. And she's been helping me with some music stuff, which is pretty cool because I think I want to do that forever. So yeah, I really like Miss Propose's class now. I feel like I matter and stuff like that. So can I have some candy now? Thanks.
Wow, my book, Experience in Education, by me, Dr. John Dewey, really helped Miss Posa turn her teaching around. Let's shift gears for a moment and see how my book, Experience in Education, by me, Dr. John Dewey, can help a progressive teacher achieve better results in their own classroom.
Yo, what's up? My name is Mr. Jackson. I'm like the cool teacher around here, also known as the progressive teacher. Although, to me, it's not really progressive. It's just the only way that there is to teach. Some people think my methods are like a little wild and out there, and they need more structure. And I say that, you know what? Screw that. Traditional education is how our public schools slid into the sorry state that they're in, man. Y'all feel? Like, I don't need anyone telling me how to teach like that. Kids don't need rules. Kids need to feel.
My name is Camelia Calliope Johnson Rogers. I'm learning nothing in Mr. Jackson's class. We're exploring, but we're not doing anything with it. I need structure! What am I getting out of my education? Nothing. I'm learning nothing. Do you see my notebook? It's empty. There's nothing in there.
All right, Kelsey, I want you to paint me a sound picture of sadness. Awesome. Why'd that make you feel sad?
Because the chromatics went down like this. And then I went to the other one and the other one.
You know, that's actually super interesting. Did you know that going down chromatically is a very common and popular way in Western art music to show sadness and death?
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
let me show you an example from Dido's Lament. So, after reading Experience and Education, written by Dr. John Dewey, which is a fantastic book, by the way, I'd highly recommend it, I realized that while I was giving my students experiences, or I thought I was, they were either not really super good experiences, or they were just straight up miseducative, which means that they were actually not learning anything from those experiences. And so I learned to make the experiences I was giving my students a little more structured, a little more guided, and I've really turned my teaching around.
He improved a lot. I understand why music makes you feel a certain way. He actually applied it and experienced it.
As you can see, teachers across the country are changing their practice based on my philosophy, and I, for one, think it's for the better. You see, I wrote Experience in Education with the express purpose of helping teachers guide their students through an experience-driven education, which will ultimately produce intelligent and functional members of a democratic society. So why don't you pick up the phone and join the thousands of teachers across America that are doing it like Dewey. Call today to order your copy of Experience in Education, written by me, Dr. John Dewey. Call within the next 15 minutes, and I'll throw in a second copy of Experience in Education, written by me, Dr. John Dewey, absolutely free. Just pay additional processing and shipping fees. Call today and start doing it like Dewey.